And here we are again. Time for my top 10 of 2016. And as usual, I didn't see every movie that came out in 2016, but I saw enough to get a top 10. And also, these are my own personal picks. You may disagree with them, you probably will disagree with them, but hey, these are just my own choices of movies I thought were pretty damn good and left some impact on me. Not doing a top 10 worst this year just because since I didn't see as many movies last year, I didn't see enough to see a worst. You know what worst movie I saw last year? The Choice. That Nicholas Sparks movie. Only Nicholas Sparks movie I've seen. Feel like I've seen them all now though. First up, it's Kubo and the Two Strings. I'll just say right off the bat, I don't like this one quite as much as I like some of the other movies. I haven't seen the Box Trolls yet, but Paranorman was fucking amazing. Coraline, almost as good. Kubo and the Two Strings, it was really good, but I didn't like it quite as much as the other ones. Still, it was a really fun adventure. The animation style, I love on this. I love seeing stop motion make a comeback. And I love the style of classic Asian mythology in this just adventure story. It's just a fun adventure. It's cool seeing them do an adventure action movie in this style of animation too. That was just really interesting. So yeah, Kubo. Number 9, sort of a controversial pick, The Witch. Man, this was the most divisive horror movie I've seen come out in a long time. I've seen it make both top 10 best and top 10 worst horror movie lists. Not just of the year, but of all time. Personally though, I really loved it. It's kinda, I guess I would say it's kinda like a mix of Scarlet Letter meets something like Lords of Salem or some other artsy horror movie. Two ingredients that I'm not really that into on their own, but together it really worked for me. It was just a really different, interesting movie. There's a lot of symbolism and a lot of talk about religion and belief in this movie. And I love the look of it. I've used the term beautiful ugliness to describe movies before, but holy if there's a movie that deserves that title, just look at that. Number 8, Deepwater Horizon. I remember when this whole thing happened, and the whole BP oil spill, and this movie presented an angle on that story that I didn't really think about before. It's the human angle. I knew there were people on this thing, I knew that people died on this thing, and I knew that heroic acts must have happened, but I didn't really think about it, and this movie showed those things, and it's really incredible. It's kind of a heartbreaking true story, but it's also just a really good disaster movie too. And it felt very real. All these characters felt real. They felt like people were just doing their job. They were just having an everyday on the job shooting the shit, and suddenly things just go horribly wrong. That was really interesting to watch. I really loved this movie, like more than I really thought I was going to. I thought I'd get something out of it. I didn't think I'd love it, but I f***ing loved it. Number 7, Hacksaw Ridge. Another movie I didn't think I'd love. And honestly, for the first half, I didn't love it. The first half I found it kind of cheesy, kind of old school Hollywood, but that just made the impact even stronger when the war stuff happens. And one of the early scenes in the war, when they're climbing up the ridge, they're climbing up to get there, and the way it's shot, the way the music works, the way it's edited, everything, it's shot like a horror movie. I appreciated that. In a war movie, there's always going to be stakes and some fear, but you really feel it here. There are moments in the movie where I was very uneasy, uncomfortable, and I think that's the way it should be in a war movie. But yes, it also does show some glory in the war, but not the glory in taking lives, but the glory of saving lives. And that was just incredible. Coming in at number 6, it's The Conjuring 2. I gotta say, I think this might be James Wan's best movie. Might have to look over them again, but it's definitely up there. Considering I think James Wan is the best horror director currently working today, that's saying a lot. I like the first Conjuring. I liked it quite a bit. The sequel just ups the ante. It's like now we know these characters, the Ed and Lorraine Warren characters, and now we can do more with them. And I will say, I have issues with Ed and Lorraine Warren just as real people, but as characters, sure, they work. And it's not just a scary movie. I mean, it's scary, don't get me wrong. It's fucking terrifying at times. But it's more than that, because the characters are good. I mean, at its core, it's this family that's going through a traumatic time already, and then this supernatural shit comes on top of it, and then they're just trying to hold their family together through natural trauma and supernatural trauma. And it's really interesting seeing them try to do that. On top of that, yeah, it's fucking scary. The fucking crooked man in this, Jesus. And I love that it's done with all natural effects. It's just a good throwback to like 70s horror. And I like this franchise. I'm curious where it's going. Number 5, it's Moana. I'll say it's right here. Zootopia almost made this list, but ultimately, I like Moana more. I think Zootopia is definitely the more original movie, but I just had more fun with Moana. It was an old school Disney movie, kind of in the style of something like Aladdin, but with some of those princess tropes thrown in there too. And while it subverts the tropes, it still celebrates them. And it's just a great adventure. I love Moana as a character. She's just this free-spirited, quirky girl. It very much feels like a teenage girl. Like, I knew people like Moana. And Dwayne Johnson as Maui is just, I mean, the dude's charisma comes through even in animated form. It's animated Dwayne Johnson, basically, but still this character and still respectful to this mythology that they're celebrating. It's just a great, fun adventure in the style of the Disney adventure movies that I watched when I was a kid, and I just had so much fun watching it. I just can't help but love it. Number 4, Doctor Strange. I think most other people on their list, they put Civil War in the spot, and I loved Civil War, don't get me wrong. Civil War, to me, was like, okay, we have another Avengers movie. It didn't blow me away the way Doctor Strange did. I mean, yes, a lot of Doctor Strange has those typical Marvel movie origin tropes, but it does enough original stuff with them. It really reminded me of the first time I saw The Matrix, honestly, where it's just kind of introducing you to this whole new world and this whole new perspective on reality, except that it's got better characters than The Matrix, better writing, better directing, better action, just better movie all around, really. Don't kill me, I still love The Matrix, but I like Doctor Strange more. It gives you this inception-y, kaleidoscope perspective on reality, and then throws superhero action into there. I have my critiques of it. Again, the villain isn't that great, even though he's definitely a lot better than most other Marvel villains. I wish I'd seen more of Dormammu. But ultimately, this is the Doctor Strange movie I really wanted to see. I wanted Benedict Cumberbatch in this role, and I wanted this type of directing. It's definitely somewhere in my top 3 Marvel movies. Number 3, Green Room. It's a very contained movie, but it uses that contained space just to ratchet up the tension. And things occur at just a really unnerving pace. It feels natural, it feels real. Even though it's a pretty extraordinary circumstance, it's something that could happen. The late Anton Yelchin, who I think this guy was like one big role away from hitting the A-list, so it's a shame that he died when he did, but he gives a great performance here. Patrick Stewart as a neo-Nazi, that's different. It's great looking too. It's got the green tint to everything. Apparently it rained like the entire time they were shooting this. That just adds to the atmosphere though. It's just a perfect little thriller. Do I need to say more? It's fucking Deadpool. We all love Deadpool. This was the most fun I had at the theater last year. I haven't laughed that much at a movie since probably the first time I saw Borat. And unlike Borat, I think Deadpool will have more staying power in the long run. It was also a little nostalgic in a weird way. It reminded me of like early 2000s superhero movies, which was kind of a fun throwback, but it still makes fun of those things. It was kind of getting the best of both worlds there. And Ryan Reynolds, I mean, the dude, thank God he got a second chance at this role, because the dude is just perfect at Deadpool. One of the most perfect superhero castings ever, if not the best. Deadpool is it's just a fun movie. And finally, my number 1, Swiss Army Man. The story of a man and his best friend, the farting corpse. I know, a lot of people are going to be turned off by this movie. I was almost turned off by it too. I mean, right from like the first 10 minutes, I was just like, I don't know if I can get into this. Paul Dano friending Daniel Radcliffe as a farting corpse, using him like as a jet ski at one point. I don't think I can deal with this. But it really won me over. It's not going to win everyone over, but it really won me over. Without me even really noticing, I just kind of got sucked into its world. And I got sucked into this friendship between a man and a corpse. It's weird how beautiful it is. I totally bought it. And it's just a beautiful movie all around. I mean, the landscapes and the visuals just look great. They build like this whole world and this whole community in the woods, and it's just gorgeous looking. And the music is, oh my god, the way they use music in this movie is so unique. It's so great. It's so wonderful. And I bought the soundtrack. It works great in the movie too. It works great on its own. It's just great. The most original movie I saw last year. One of the most original movies I've seen ever. It's a beautiful story told in the most unconventional way, and I just loved it. Those are my top picks for 2016, and I'll be honest, 2016 wasn't the best year for movies. It was kind of hard for me to come up with top 10, but there were still really good things there. I mean, I still love all the movies that I just listed. Still, I hope 2017 gives us a little something better. We'll see. Till next time.